of how rentable is social entrepreneurship, one of my friends has a VC fund of $2 billion, and he only invests in social entrepreneurship. So there is future for people wishing to make good and making well. To have you, to share an example of social entrepreneurship, basically think that 2/3 of the world is poor. Half of the people in the world live with $2 a day. So for them, probably the very top innovation we like is not a big problem, but health, education, food, water, energy is a great problem for them. So let me introduce to you Tom's Shoes. Maybe you know them. Tom's Shoes is the story of Blake Mycoskie, a guy who fell in love with the north of Argentina, and he understood that there were many kids without shoes. So he decided to start up a company, Tom's Shoes, selling shoes online, and for every pair of shoes that you get, they donate one for free to a poor child.
People laughed at Blake when his idea was to start a shoe company basically where he gave away shoes for every pair that was sold. People laughed and said that was ridiculous. It's more about putting other people ahead of you.
Her oldest daughter is 26 and her youngest baby is 2 years old. She has on occasions bought shoes, but for the most they didn't have them. Not for all of them.
Tomsitis every time you see a child. And you have Tomsitis every time you see a child, you want to give them a pair of shoes.
Is this amazing and awesome? Somebody saying, I want to make money and donate a lot of shoes to a lot of kids. In fact, I am part of the tribe of Tom's Shoes. I foster you to join. And these are numbers that maybe will help you to understand how good could be a good idea, making good and making well. Since 2006, where Blake started up his company, 2 million shoes were donated. Now they are reaching 3 million. Last year, Blake sold 50% of his company to Bain Capital for valuing the company $625 million US. I will repeat, 625 million US. By the way, he's still there. His charge is better than mine. I'm the chief optimistic officer, and he is the chief shoe giver. So try to be inspired by this kind of a story. By the way, who wants the $1 million here? You don't want the money? So who is by the way, Elena will please take note of the people here, because the one living, they will never win the prize. No, I will be a judge in the prize, and I will remember. I have an elephant memory, so anybody living, no way to get the money. Okay, good. So Elena, take pictures, please. Take pictures. There is a way to make the world better, and making profit. It is not. It is a good idea to save the community, to save the environment, and this is why I introduce you a new movement in the industry, Cradle to Cradle, which was created by my friend Michael Braungart. We brought him to our first TEDx Cibeles is one of the best TEDx in the world, and we organized it since 2010, and he told us that there is no reason not to start up industries without waste. So if we don't have waste, we don't have to recycle, we don't have to make these kind of things. So making good has many aspects. And here gives you an idea about the two axes, profits and social good, and how there are many companies making both things, like Tom Shoes, and maybe, or Whole Foods is a company I really like. So the thing is doing well by doing good. My introduction to this world had a big impact when I knew Manuel Maqueda, another of our speakers in 2010 at TEDx Plaza Cibeles. Manuel Maqueda is my brother now, and he started up Kumu. I'm trusting in Kumu. Kumu is the first incubator for social entrepreneurships. It's the only one in the valley. It's beautiful. We are really incubating and accelerating social projects. By the way, he's writing a great book about the meaning economy. The meaning economy is a new movement which is really changing and trying to adapt the narratives to our century, which are our actual narratives, in fact. We are working with the Institute of the Future, and we are understanding signals, indications of decline, and the signals of the new. Talking about the decline, when everybody understood the trouble with Volkswagen, a might was falling, because everybody knows that Italians are tricky sometimes, but Germans make tricky, making these kind of things. So these are the kind of old narratives, and I like this. I talk in the net, work, buy, consume, and die. We don't want this. We don't want this anymore. We want a change, and this is examples of the change. We work with the majority of these companies. So, for example, when we start up a company in the US, we make it with a public benefit corporation. So you don't have to renounce to your values while making money. For example, ethical banking, crowdfunding, peer-to-peer finance. Peer-to-peer finance, to give you an idea, the impact of social entrepreneurship and the new wage. I am an investor in the fund of the Lending Club, which is a peer-to-peer bank, started in 2006. We made IPO in November last year. Now the company is valued at $9 billion US dollars. 9 billion. Well, in Spain we have big banks like BBVA, like Santander. Well, BBVA, for example, its value is around 40 billions, more or less 5 times more than our peer-to-peer bank. Do you know how many employees are in the BBVA or in the big banks? An idea about how many employees? 120,000. Do you know how many employees we have in the Lending Club? 87. 87. This is the new things. And we started up this to enlarge the number of people getting access to a credit, especially PYMEs, small and medium enterprises, or the sharing economy. Anytime that you enter into BlaBlaCar and share a trip with somebody you don't know, you are redefining the trust you have in the social networks, in your environment. And all these companies are great companies: Etsy, Tesla, SpaceX, the company we had just heard before, Airbnb, Solar City. We are changing the world for good. And these are the numbers, huge numbers. It's very profitable. So any entrepreneur here, my suggestion is try to make something with a meaning, because we are also reinventing the value. A lot of people like to buy things because comes from better companies that not only look at their profits, share all the profit, but to have an impact in the world. So what is to be a social entrepreneur? This is something I got in a great forum, the 6th Global Drucker Forum in Vienna last year, where many thinkers from all over the world were thinking, what do we have to do to save the world? And I got 2 messages. First of all, deploy people potential. Create holacracy companies where everybody is the boss, everybody is listened, is loved, is engaged. Because this will be increased happiness in your company, and it will increase happiness in our customers and happiness in our profit and loss sheet. And second, and more important, is understand that a business, any business, is an ethical journey. Without ethical journey, maybe there will be no business at all, because you will have all the community helping you making it. Do you want to steal the money? The 1 million? More people want $1 million? Good. Elena wants it. Good. Elena, you are one of the candidates. So let's wrap up a little bit. First of all, life is short. Do you know it? Life is a marvelous journey. And there will be no other chance to make an impact, to change what you don't like. Otherwise, listen to this TED talk by Eric Elias, who was in a plane that was crashing, and saying, the last 3 minutes I understood what is really important to make an impact. Live your life and be thankful, because it is a gift. So let me share with you a few minutes, we don't have much time, of a talk by my friend Louis Schwarzenberg. He's part of the Social Entrepreneurs Group. We met every July in Hollyhock. He worked for Disney, he worked for everybody, because he creates amazing things with nature around him. And this talk is about thankfulness. So let me share with you a couple of minutes of thankfulness and mindfulness.
You think this is just another day in your life? It's not just another day. It's the one day that is given to you today. It's given to you. It's a gift. It's the only gift that you have right now, and the only appropriate response is gratefulness. If you do nothing else but to cultivate that response to the great gift that this unique day is, if you learn to respond as if it were the first day in your life and the very last day, then you will have spent this day very well. Begin by opening your eyes and be surprised that you have eyes you can open. That incredible array of colors that is constantly offered to us for pure enjoyment. Look at the sky. We so rarely look at the sky. We so rarely note how different it is from moment to moment, with clouds coming and going. We just think of the weather, and even of the weather we don't think of all the many nuances of weather. We just think of good weather and bad weather. This day, right now, is unique weather. Maybe a kind that will never exactly in that form come again. The formation of clouds in the sky will never be the same that is right now. Open your eyes, look at that.
This is a TED Talk. Please don't miss it. Another book I suggest you to read, The Positive Advantage. It will make you a more positive and more happy people, The Happiness Advantage, to make the world a better place. The world, by the way, is better every day. Another book I suggest to you, based on Peter Diamandis' talk. He is the writing of this book. By the way, he was in the last final of the Chivas venture last year in San Francisco. He was one of the speaker guests. So read this book and understand that the thanks to the technology, basically, we are solving a lot of big troubles and making abundance of those things that are scarce. Like, for example, one of our friends, Bob Nicol, is a good friend in MTech, where in Opino, any Opino things we do together. He was in charge of the Broad Institute for the sequencing of the genome, of the human genome. He told us that in 2001, to sequence the genome took $100 million. Now it takes 1,000. In 10 years, it will take 100 in 1 hour. So the Swanson law makes us, give us the possibility that we can really use the sun as our power, to power our world. And this is the impact of these new technologies. All the things you have been listening today, energy, robotics, artificial intelligence, will save 1.5 million lives through the autonomous vehicles. And a lot of energy in 10 years will be sustainable. If you have doubt that the world is a great place to live, go to the NASA in Orlando. In the NASA, you can see how big was the cucumber, the missile, that the humankind sent to the space in 1969 with no internet, no mobile, no memory, no energy. Mankind is unlimited with motivation and some media. And if you have any doubt about this, look at this story. It's a beautiful story. Started in Cateura. Cateura is a village in Asunción, Paraguay, which lives out of a garbage mountain. Somebody said, let's create an orchestra for our kids, creating instruments from the garbage.
Mi nombre es Ada Maribel Ríos Bogado, tengo 13 años y toco el violín.
Me llamo Juan Manuel Chávez, más conocido como Baby, tengo 19 años y toco el cello. Este cello está hecho de una lata de aceite, la madera tirada en la basura y las clavijas son de una vieja cuchara para golpear la carne y para hacer el ñoquis. Y suena así.
From the garbage, until there be one person thinking to improve the world, taking out beauty from garbage, the world will be a better place to live. Of course, you have to follow your passion and invest in trust. Invest in trust is the best investment you can make. And inspire. We are here to inspire. I hope that this talk with you will inspire you to try to save the world and make the world a better place for us and for our kids. And don't be afraid of changing. Changing is the way our future comes into our life. And of course, never, ever give up. Never, ever. Well, is it impossible? Let me share with you a small video we make at our TEDx, which is one of the 15 most influent TEDx in the world, TEDx Cibeles, just to wrap up about the impossible made possible.
Don't you find it frustrating to hear about a problem you can't do anything about?
When you feel you have nothing worth fighting for, and everything and everyone who stands in your path stands to tell you that you're destined to fail.
In a few years when we are adults, and we will have to live with all the problems not solved today, we will not be able to take the adults into account for not solving these problems, because they will be dead by then.
We live in a world with some very serious challenges.
When we face really complicated situations in life, we tend to think that they require complicated solutions.
What if we decided that from now on, from this moment on, I'm not going to go to the default thinking.
The definition of craziness by a famous Nobel Prize was doing the same thing every day and expecting a different result.
Evolution turns the unavoidable into necessary.
We wanted to read that we changed the world, and that part of the way we did that was by changing the way we think about these things.
They call themselves realists.
They ask you to be realistic and quit before wasting too much time.
So began my journey, the journey of unmasking my authentic voice.
We know that there are a number of major challenges.
This was the first time I'd encountered this idea that embracing a limitation could actually drive creativity.
Sometimes, just like a cell, the answer is extremely simple. It's starting with the simplest pieces and allowing them to reassemble themselves.
It's never too late to make a restart in your life.
Think that one day you will wake up and realize that there will be no more time to do what you want to do. So do it now. Do you still want the money? I don't hear you. Do you want the money or not? Good. So this is our page, the Chivas, the venture. Starting now, from this moment on, by the way, I will be available for a Q&A session that will last the time you want in the next meeting point. And let me show you the video explaining how this works. Basically, we want to find 25 people out of 25 countries. In Spain, there will be 5 finalists and 1 winner. The 1 winner will receive an enormous amount of mentorship. Last year, it was in San Francisco with the best people I know on earth, because your pitch will be evaluated together with Nancy Duarte. She's the best communicator in the world. By the way, for girls, she has a great TED Talk. Don't miss her TED Talk, Nancy Duarte. You will understand how to really make design thinking with the Stanford Design School and with Google. And you will receive mentorship from the best in the best. And then you will have a semi-final and then a final. But you will be very, very helped in making a great pitch. 7 minutes pitch and 8 minutes of question Q&A. So it will start 1,000 people, then it will grow to maybe 15, 20, and then there will be 5 finalists. In between, there will be much money in between, because you will participate in an Indiegogo public contest that will be $250,000 plus all the money you will get from the public investing in your company. And for the $750,000 you will have to apply to be one of the finalists in the last round. But for Spaniards, for those who are crazy enough, that want to change the world and want to participate, there will be the first award will be being a finalist, but the other guys will receive money and mentorship. So let's see the video together.
In October 2014, Chivas launched The Venture. An international call for social entrepreneurs to win the right way. At stake, $1 million in funding to help startups change the world of business and the lives of others. Thousand social entrepreneurs from every corner of the globe, aiming for positive change as well as profits, answered the call. "16 were shortlisted to represent their countries in the Venture Final. For 5 weeks, we invited the world to vote who should receive a share of the first $250,000 in funding, giving each finalist a chance to inspire others with their incredible stories. 5 social entrepreneurs were chosen to pitch their ideas to a panel of experts for the remaining share of the Venture's $1 million fund. This is their movement, and this is their moment.
very moment. Please have a look at the webpage where you can participate and describe yourself. I will be around here in the next meeting point to answer your questions. I'll be very, very happy. And remember, you can apply if your company can have one of these three things: changing the quality of life of some in the world, fixing something wrong, or preventing that something good will make an end. Thank you very, very, very much for your attention. Thank you very much.